Testing. Microphone check.
So
It's all good. We still kind of getting the kinks worked out, so that's all good. So what's been going on? Been doing all right?
for the most part, work, and yeah, life.
I feel
Work.
I feel you, man. So well, hey, so what was your initial thoughts, man, on both those episodes?
What up?
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
Sarah enjoy. Somebody gave it to me for as a gift. I'm like, come on.
Nice. Nice.
Oh, what if? This is about to be a dope series. This
I
is about to
know.
be a dope series because
And they can do
you
so
can do
much.
so much more with animation.
Oh yeah, I'm loving it. I'm loving it because I mean, not just because we had to see hear Chadwick Boseman in that role again, but it's just the possibilities. And I mean, like just what we know is coming up for this season. You got the Iron Man episode where Killmonger they become friends. You got the zombie episode. You got some Doctor Strange and Spider Man stuff coming out. So 9 episodes are going to be kind of be set on, set up for the rest of the MCU of all the possibilities. And I just have an idea that they're going to bring in. I mean, it's a good chance for them to bring in zombies, not zombies, but vampires. I know they briefly mentioned them in Loki, but that kind of sets the playing field when you start talking about Blade. Like, all right, where the zombies been this whole time, or not zombies? I keep saying zombies, vampires. So now you got Blade. Um, who knows if Sony's gonna want to let them play a little more together with the success of the Spider-Man series. So I'm excited.
Well, vampires are coming because I was just reading Moon Knight #1. That was the first issue. That's what he's kind of dealing with
Yeah.
or talks about, and so they're coming in. The way Marvel's been moving out, instead of the cinematic universe TV shows coming from or drawing mostly from the source material, now they're making sure a lot of the source material is coinciding, or at least
Mm-hmm.
whatever is popping right now, movies, that's what comic books are going to put a whole bunch out, whether they are popular or not. And that's another whole episode of whether I think that's a good business plan or not, because they've alienated a lot of fans like that. At the same time, yeah, we'll talk about that later. But with that said, like I said, I just read the Moon Knight #1, which was pretty good, and we already know that Blade's been signed on. Mahershala Ali is going to
Yeah.
be Blade, and you know how Marvel does. They build it so whatever's going on in the comic books, you're about to see
Yeah.
shortly.
And a lot of times they'll test drives, test run some things in comics. So this what if series is kind of like one of those things. They say, all right, fans like the idea of another Spider-Man. What if they like the idea of Gwen Stacy being Spider-Man? Now we got Gwen Stacy, Spider-Man, and then you got the Watcher, Watu. For me, when I see him, I know been in a lot of other series and things like that. But for me, I always think of the Silver Surfer. Because he always saying he's not going to interfere, and then that's like one of the times that he did interfere and kind of give Zenla that warning before Galactus came. So it could be some good possibilities, and they already announced that there's going to be a season 2, and they could probably go easy 6 to 10 seasons if they wanted to. So
Easily. Especially every time a new movie comes out and they could give you, but what if this happened? Like,
yeah.
So.
I mean,
and then as you get new characters, you could, yeah.
I mean, you just even take Ant-Man when Edgar Wright had his script, and then he had some issues with Marvel, and then Peyton Reed took it over, and they took some of Edgar Wright's stuff, but a lot of the new things came out. So they could say, all right, what was his original idea for Ant-Man? Or you even take Josh Whedon. he wanted Wasp in the Avengers and not Black Widow. Then in the second one, Age of Ultron, he wanted Captain Marvel to show up, but they didn't really have a way to bring her in when you're already introducing Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver. So
Yeah.
there's some possibilities. I'm intrigued, and this runs until October, so it'll run past the Shang-Chi, and it'll kind of lead up to, I think it's like a little break, and then you'll get the Eternals. So that'll be a good timing, and then I think everything kind of slows out for the holidays. And I'm wondering if they're holding out on Spider-Man just to see if it needs to be moved or not. I don't think it's like spoiler related while we haven't got a trailer. I think it's more of, let's see how this global pandemic's going before we put one of our bigger movies out there.
I get it.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that's just.
I didn't think about it like that.
I think it's more speculation. Everybody's like, "Oh, maybe he's going to be tied in with the Shang-Chi, and they don't want to have any spoilers, or maybe he's going to be in the Venom 2." I'm like, or they just don't want to put out a date and have everybody excited about that versus the other two projects they got coming out. So I don't know.
And when does Venom come out? Next month? October?
It's already, it's moved twice. They've been moving it like a week or two at a time. And maybe just one of those things where they're just gonna have to just drop it in the theaters and then put it out there. I mean, Sony could do like HBO's been doing, or Warner Brothers. Yeah, they have a theater at home, but if you don't have their streaming service, you have to pay $30 to rent it, and just like Disney, the premiere stuff. So, hey. All right, man, let's go ahead and jump in. Let's go ahead and thanks for joining, everyone. We appreciate your time. This is the Pop Culture Peons. I am Tavari, and I'm with my host, co-host Terrence here, and we break down everything in the world.
Hey!
Yes, sir. So, as we find some cool topics and things that are buzzworthy for the week of, I'll say in our little area corner of the universe here, we do want to discuss a little bit. And right now, everything's kind of pointing towards Marvel. I saw that Riri Williams, she's also getting her Disney Plus show, but they just announced that she's going to be a part of the Wakanda Forever movie coming out next year. So they're going to introduce her character in the Wakanda Forever movie, or officially known as the Black Panther 2. So I wonder how they're going to do that, but I'm guessing Shuri's going to be involved somehow with her, because at the end of the first Black Panther, they set up this school in Oakland for the underprivileged kids.
That's my first thought.
Yeah, and kind of like
that's my first thought. Like, here we go.
Yeah, kind of like how Tony Stark had the scholarship program for Peter Parker. I wonder if it's gonna be something like that with her, and they see that her, high aptitude of learning and things like that, and her kind of wanting to be this hero, creating her own Iron Man suit. I mean, so it's all possible. I mean, it's all speculation right now. It was just announced earlier today, so I thought that was interesting. And
yeah, I saw that, and that was my first thought. Like, she's going to be in one of those schools that Black Panther made.
Mm-hmm. So they're going to have all of the money in the world, and of course, probably to them, to like the Wakandas, it's like, all right, this is nothing to us. And then she finds, and she's like, hey, I can make some cool things out of this. So that'd be a way. Now, I don't know if they're going to go with the AI Tony Stark in this, for her suit, because I mean, that's basically what it was. He was like her Jarvis, so
yeah.
Would Robert Downey
I wish
willing to come back to do a couple lines, some voiceovers, and without actually having to really play the character? Who knows? He may be down.
He's coming back.
Yeah, or they're gonna do like they did on. I
think he's coming back.
Some of the characters, like they could do like some of these characters in What If, where they got someone who sounds close enough like them that you just let it ride.
Mm-hmm.
Because I really thought that was.
Yeah, I mean, because you don't have to see Tony Stark's face as an AI.
Yeah.
I mean, it would be dope. You know, my first impression would be a holographic Tony Stark talking to her, kind of like in the comic books. But you don't have to see that. He could have just had it built in, like you said, like a Jarvis.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that would be pretty dope. And you're correct. That dude was sounding just like Chris Evans
The What If.
in What If episode one. Shoot.
Yeah, I was really thinking like, man, this is like they got everybody back. I mean, they got Sebastian Stan. You know, they've got I can't think of the actor to play Peggy Carter. They even got the trying to think Tony Stark's dad. They got the dad who was in the first Captain America movie, not the older version that you saw in Avengers and Iron Man. But they got the Dominique, what is his name? Persol, whatever. They got him to voice. They got some of the Howling Commandos.
Oh, you talking about Howard Stark?
Yeah, there you go. I think his name. I was like Howard Hughes, but I was like, that's not right. But yeah, Howard Stark. So some of his voice casting was awesome. And then as we'll go further into episode 2, they got a lot of them back, with the exception of Drax. I read that Dave Bautista was like they didn't ask him to reprise the role. Couldn't find out. They reached out to him. It was his agent that didn't tell him that Marvel was trying to get a hold of him. And by the time they got a hold of him, they've already recorded the voices for all the episodes.
The lines.
Yeah. So he missed out on that.
You see that? They got somebody. That guy sounded like Batista a little bit because I was wondering was it him or not. I didn't think it was. So I didn't see his name in the opening credits, but he did sound like him.
Yeah, they got some. There's some cool voice actors out here that can really mimic people. I mean, you just think about Jamie Foxx, how he can mimic almost anyone, especially like he did Ray Charles. And then you take his voice actors to do animation. A lot of times in animated series, the actor may step away, but they replace him, and you don't even realize it until like one day you just look it up in the credits, or if you're curious about the behind the scenes and you're keeping up with it. A lot of times they'll switch out people and you don't even know. So,
you knew some of them though.
Yeah,
you knew some of them. You knew when Homer Simpson took over the genie from Robin Williams.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. So hey, you get those occasions like that.
He wasn't bad, but you knew that. You're like, that's not Robin. That's not a genie.
Robin was too much. He's like, hey, this is too much for this production schedule. Probably he's more.
That genie was a variant.
There you go. Hey, there was an episode in the Aladdin series, on the Disney series, that he got a hold of this gauntlet. It was similar to the Infinity Gauntlet. And I remember this episode, and I saw somebody had posted some clips of it. It was like, I forget, it wasn't called the Infinity Gauntlet, but it was this glove that he wore and it had these jewels. I think it was on like 3 jewels on it. And he could like shoot out powers. And I was like, man. And then somebody pointed out, and like it brought it back to my memory with that and the Infinity Gauntlet, which, that's
wow,
iconic stories. So Disney already knew they were going to buy Marvel, so they're like, no need, no need to pay. We're going to own it all anyway. It's all good. All right, man. Let's get into the first episode of What If. The first episode is what if Peggy Carter got a hold of the super soldier serum? So the plot of the episode basically takes place in World War II, brings you about the same as the first Captain America, the first Avenger, where Steve Rogers is selected to take the serum. Everything's kind of condensed down to a 30-minute episode, but in that first episode, you kind of get the rules of everything. The watcher tells you, hey, just small little changes can basically have a domino effect throughout the multiverse. Well, this small change, Peggy Carter decided, instead of going to the balcony to watch, she decided to stay down with Steve, and that change caused everyone else to stay down, and which allowed the guy, the Hydra agent, to not only shoot Steve Rogers, he also he caused the explosion, and Steve was too injured to take the serum. Peggy jumped in, took the serum, and now everything transpires as Peggy being the hero, and Steve being kind of the sidekick, which he got a version of the first Mark One Iron Man suit that Howard built for him.
Mm-hmm.
It was some kind of cool dot. Like instead of having like all these digital projections, it was like old school dials, like you would see in an old tank or old fighter plane. So there were some changes there. You still had Red Skull, who was the main villain, and instead of him using the Tesseract to kind of take over the world, he wanted to bring a cosmic being in to help, to help fight. And then Peggy and Steve fought. Instead of her getting frozen, she went through basically a wormhole that brought her back to present day. So it was kind of a lot for an episode, and I had to watch it. I watched it multiple times, just kind of figuring out what were they kind of, what kind of pattern they were following to the first Avenger movie, and what was kind of different. Like they had like when she rescued the 107 and they started going through the door shooting all the Hydra agents and things like that. It was just like when Steve Rogers had the suit and he went to go rescue him. Bucky almost fell off the train. He's like, "Hey, you almost ripped my arm." So I thought that was cool. So what are your thoughts, man?
It was fun. It was fun. Like I was silly beforehand. We always wanted to see our favorite heroes and stuff in the movies. We got that now, but we almost forgot why animation is so good with superheroes.
Mm-hmm.
You can get to see more. You can get a lot more than you can with real movies. So when they showed the scene of her fighting, it was smooth. Like she, Captain. She was Captain. What's her name? Not Cap. I'm about to call it Captain Britain, but no, it's Captain Carter. Captain Carter was killing it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like she was killing that shit. They almost had her looking like She-Hulk. I wish they even I know she was supposed to be more athletic because of the super serum, but she almost kind of looked like She-Hulk when they put her up.
See, yeah, I was like that because Steve, when he took it, he was a scrawny little 85-pound kid or how much he weighed, and he became this 6'2", 225-pound guy. So he got bigger and stronger.
Yeah.
Peggy was already towering over Steve, so they had to make her bigger, and that was just kind of gave her that She-Hulk, look. Like, man, she don't miss gym day. Man, but they had this.
But no, like I said, it was like how she moved, how they did it. It was actually I enjoyed the first episode. Oh, yeah. I definitely enjoyed the first episode on What If, and I wonder if because they said they're gonna these What Ifs actually gonna have some things to do with the MCU. Mm-hmm. Makes me wonder which ones, what they're going to do or what they're building up. Like I wonder, he said that each one of these stories is gonna be a different strand of the universe. Mm-hmm. But I kind of feel like the secret's gonna be these are all the same universe.
Yeah, and that made me think of like when you bring that up. Like I heard a rumor. I don't know if it's confirmed or what, but they said that Peggy Carter or Captain Carter will be a part of the multiverse. I don't know if it's like a cameo, a Secret Wars, something, but they want to continue working with that actress. So it's possible. And that really makes me think about that first episode of Loki, where you see a version of Peggy Carter getting pruned by the TVA, or she's not getting pruned, but she was getting brought in. So maybe King was like, hey, whatever she did, it kind of threw me off a little bit.
Well, like you said, if there's a Secret Wars, let me pull you to the side. I might need you.
That's gonna be crazy because who knows? Like they may have one where you got Peggy taking the serum, one where they were able to mass produce a serum from all the Howling Commandos got it. Bucky, he got a serum, and Steve Rogers, like maybe roles will reverse, and Steve Rogers becomes the Winter Soldier. There's a lot of ways they can play with this. What if Isaiah Bradley wasn't an enemy of the state and was actually revered, and they just show him? You're gonna need an army, but you're gonna be basically fighting who's who, and then you throw Skrulls in the mix. It's an endless possibility. Now, my question about this. I don't know if they're gonna like bring it back another season or what. Did Steve die, or was he something happened where he's in the future? Because the way I took it, Peggy came and she was the only one from her time. You know, when Steve came, it was him. And then he found out later that Bucky was still alive. Peggy was still alive, but she was older, and then she died. You know, shortly afterwards.
Yeah. He might be alive, but see, we don't know. We don't know. You're right.
It could
We
be
don't
that.
know.
Yeah.
What if he's alive and he's a bad guy because he lost?
He lost it. Yeah. Instead of Captain America, be Captain Hydra.
Or something. Because I mean, as we're going to see in our next episode, what else could change anybody's side? Like,
Ooh, yeah. That was a shock. That's something that didn't get spoiled to me, and I was like, whoa. I didn't even know he was going to be involved in that episode, so that was great. So man,
go ahead. Do you want to go on to that episode, or you want to keep talking about this one? Because both episodes are dope. I guess because episode 2 is fresh in my head out, and it was.
Hey, let's go ahead.
It was good. Both episodes were good. Both episodes were good, but that episode 2 is good too, man.
Hey, let's go.
And it's heartfelt.
Hey, let's go ahead into what if T'Challa becomes Star-Lord. You want to do the you want me to go ahead and break it down?
You can break it down. Break it down, man.
All right.
Break down. Steady breaking you down.
Mariah Carey, Bone Thugs, yes sir. All right.
That's right.
All right. Episode 2 of What If takes place in 1988, where Ego sends the Ravengers out to Earth to get his son Peter Quill, but instead of Yondu doing it himself, he sends Kraglin and Taserface, who noticed the readings from Wakanda, and it's assumed that it was him because of the readings. So they kidnapped the wrong kid basically. And as he gets back to the spaceship, he tells them, "Oh yeah, we had this meteorite that landed in our country, and that's why you're getting this reading." So from there, he becomes, pretty much, he changes the course. He becomes like the Robin Hood of the galaxy, and him and the Ravengers are actually agents of good versus just kind of surviving. And T'Challa's just so good that he becomes this diplomat where he turns even Thanos, changes Thanos' mind just by talking to him. That was a shocker. And Nebula only had one enhancement, which was her eye. She was pretty much intact because Thanos didn't get a chance to see all her failures to keep, making her more machine. The Dark Order worked for the Collector. The Collector was bad, man. And
yeah, he was swollen. Like, yo, what are you doing this big for no reason, man?
Yeah, so he becomes almost the Thanos of that universe, which it says a lot. But at the end, T'Challa actually he finds out that Yondu was lying to him just like Peter Quill did, but except he forgave him like right away, and they all went back to Earth and kind of chopped it up with him. So I thought that was just a cool episode altogether, man. And it just a little cherry on top, just Chadwick Boseman. I can see why Marvel don't want to replace him, but man, I would love to see Black Panther again.
Man, they made him so charming that, like you said, Thanos just. I just turned over a new leaf. Like, yo, hold on, who's this dude up there? Who is this up there? But Thanos was funny, especially when he was joking about, like, it's not genocide. Like, he wasn't trying to explain himself. It's random, so it's not genocide.
Yeah, and then with Karath, he was basically a fanboy. Was it Duhanjas? I can never pronounce his name.
Digimon Hassan.
Yeah, he was he was like this big fanboy, so he becomes a Ravenger. He's like, yeah, you can convince me to turn away from Ronin, because he's like, oh, you're Star-Lord, you can do it all. He just knew it.
Yeah, like he's so smooth that it was the reverse of Guardians of the Galaxy. Yeah. When Chris Pratt, who I am, Star-Lord. Like no one knew who. T'Challa had everyone know who Star-Lord was, and that's what was so funny. Like that was pretty dope.
and he wasn't like beyond doing bad things in the name of good. Like he had this like even only being part of the Wakandan society up to 1988, he still had those values of, hey, I want to do good. And his dad basically was telling him, hey, you want to live outside this bubble, and that's kind of what he wanted. So he got to see the universe in a sense, and he brought some of that Wakandan knowledge along with whatever he picked up from Yondu. And another cool thing, when you get to go to the collector, you get to see Howard the Duck. So
yo, you beat me to it. Those Easter eggs were funny.
Yeah, and it was actually Seth Green playing him again, so I thought that was neat.
But I enjoy Howard the Duck.
Yeah,
I enjoy it. I want more. Like, I didn't think I would see T'Challa and Howard the Duck on the screen together.
I'm telling you, that was cool. And Howard the Duck was one of the people in that final battle in Endgame too. It was like one of those blinking you miss it.
Mm-hmm. You got
somebody. I was like, wow, they. No wonder Doctor Strange he said, this is the only way I got to bring everybody. So they were probably conversing in that time stone, or not time stone, soul stone.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I wonder how he got him out.
I don't know, but let's go back to Endgame.
That's right. He got out at the end.
Yeah, with a snap.
Okay.
Yeah, but there was one thing about Endgame. Where. Not Endgame, Infinity War, where Doctor Strange and Thanos and all them were fighting, and Doctor Strange like multiplies himself, and he's have all these versions of Doctor Strange. That was him using the Soul Stone, because he found the duplicate that had a soul, and I was like wondering like how did he find out what it was, and somebody said, yeah, that's the Soul Stone he activated, and I was like, never knew that. Just picked that up, just a day or two ago, and just the fact that movie's been out for a few years, and I'm still finding new things about it. The MCU is always layered and packed with Easter eggs, and it gets to the point when we watch stuff, we don't just watch it like we do, say, an episode of Brooklyn Nine-Nine or The Wire or whatever. We're like, all right, what is this? Oh, he's wearing this. They wore this, or it's kind of cool. It's like a fan scavenger hunt to see all these Easter eggs, and Marvel's finding a way to do more and more every time. I mean, you get to see Skrull, Kreese. I'm trying to think what else he had in the collector had that were released at the end.
We saw the elves, the dark elf.
Yeah.
Again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, from what was it?
Thor Dark.
Yeah, Loki's people.
Oh no, Loki's people, the Frost Giants. You know the second Thor, the guy that to the ether.
Yeah, you're right. Because the Dark Elves was
the elves.
Yeah, that's the ones that killed his mom. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I can try to say that. Yeah, I was trying to see like you said, we were looking for Easter eggs. When they had the boxes, there were a lot of ones with shadows. And I'm trying to look at the shadows, see which one was like outlined, because there were a couple of them that looked familiar.
Let's see, I had one written down. I was trying to see, but man, that episode was just layered. And then you get to see the Dark Order again, but they're working. You got Proxima Midnight, and you see how tough Thanos really is. Like even with all of them, he was getting ganged up 2-on-1, and he was still holding his own. And the fact that T'Challa
with no Infinity Gauntlet.
Yeah, exactly. No, but Thanos he only used the Infinity Gauntlet only when he needed to, and like in the Endgame, he used it to get Captain Marvel off of him. But when he was just going toe to toe with like anyone else, he only like the Hulk. He didn't use any Infinity Stones. He had the Power Stone, but he chose not to use it. So
I thought he was using the Power Stone, but he was just beating his ass too at the same time.
And
I'll look again. Maybe he wasn't. Either way, he made light work of the Hulk.
He beat the Hulk into PTSD. Now if I'm the Hulk, man, I would want to rematch.
Come out, Hulk! No! Like, oh wow! I'm like, wow.
Hulk scared. Yeah, he got beat up from his boys. You know, you can't. It's hard to come back from that.
Hulk fans were mad everywhere.
Yeah.
Hulk fans were so mad at that.
Then the next time you see him, he's smart Hulk. You know, he's like, no. But I get why they did it that way, and they cut that scene out of Endgame as well because it was just pacing and timing. That where he had a deal with Banner and the Hulk, you kind of coming together, and they just left that on that cutting room floor. So it was just too much going on in that film. And even the Russos like, yeah, we probably have a 6-hour version of our movie if we really wanted to do it. Nah, we're good. Like I know they got a scene where Tony starts talking to his adult daughter inside the Soul Stone, kind of like Thanos was talking to his daughter Gamora as a child. They actually shot her. So they decided it would be too confusing for people who've never seen her as an adult. And there was some other scenes they took out, but I think most of the outtakes or deleted scenes are on the Disney Plus. If you had Disney Plus, you can look them up now. And even then, Marvel's released a bunch on YouTube.
Okay.
Now you see at the very, very end of the episode, after they had the battle, and Ego goes and we get Peter Quill. Peter Quill's just some regular dude working at a restaurant, and
at Dairy Queen.
Yeah, and Ego shows up, eyes light up, and the Watcher's like, "Well, that's so much for this universe." So that shows you how important Peter Quill is. Everybody's all upset about his anger over Thanos being, killing Gamora, and he lost his cool. But Peter Quill, being a son of of Ego, and
a Celestial, yeah,
and everything that transpired from Guardians of the Galaxy 2, it basically saved the multiverse, or that universe as it is, because if he never had that confrontation with him on his own planet, on his own terms, I mean, Ego would have gotten the power that he wanted, and Peter had no one else to kind of guide him. He didn't know who he was, and his mom was already gone, and then this guy says, "Hey, I'm your dad, and let's go to space." He's like, "Sure." And so everything with T'Challa, who knows how long that's going to last.
It's gonna be pretty fun. Like that's what I said. That's the main reason I think there's gonna. I feel like a lot of these episodes are gonna be in the same universe, or they're gonna kind of pick and choose. I feel like there's gonna be an episode with a different Avengers, and I feel like some of the characters we've already seen will be a part of it.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind saying, like, what if Quicksilver was still alive, or
that's the one I want.
Yeah, I want to see Hank Pym and Janet Van Dyne and Giant Man, Lawrence Fishburne, like maybe them back in the day. Like, what was his deal with Tony Stark or Howard Stark? What if the Winter Soldier didn't kill Iron Man's parents? Which that's probably one of the deals. One of the things that probably set off, or maybe T'Challa becoming Stark.
What if Janet didn't get lost in the
realm? But even with, say, T'Challa becoming Star-Lord, maybe the episode that's dealing with Tony Stark and Killmonger is probably in that same universe. Considering that if T'Chaka lost his son, he would be more forgiving to his brother selling vibranium to Claw, and he would take in Eric versus leaving him there. So that could tie in together, man. I'm excited. I don't even know which episode is next, but just going the timeline, it's probably the Tony Stark episode, because it started with World War II. Then this one kind of started in the 80s. And then I would imagine it would be a Tony Stark, maybe, unless they do Captain Marvel. Yeah, I don't know.
Spider-Man.
Yeah, you got Spider-Man. And they already said it was canon that Spider-Man was the kid in Iron Man 2. So there's a lot. Yeah,
Hmm.
there's a lot that could be come out of that. But I noticed lately they've been pairing a lot of Spider-Man and Doctor Strange. You know, of course, with the movie coming out, and then he's going to be in the Multiverse of Madness as well. Or No Way Home, and now you got, I guess, Doctor Strange is going to be like the central character of this What If series because I think he's in the most episodes out of any character. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So I think that was one of the reasons why Benedict Cumberbatch got the role over, say, someone like Ethan Hawke or Joaquin Phoenix because his willingness to do sequels and spin-offs and all those other things.
Yeah,
But
because Walker Phoenix said at first he didn't want to do anything. They keep him in a bunch of sequels, right?
and now he's doing a Joker
That's why he
too.
didn't like the superhero joint at first.
Yeah, and then he realized,
Yeah, I saw that.
yeah, now
Funny.
he's like, yeah, it's a different world now. He didn't want to be like, oh, you're that guy who was in the Tim Story Fantastic Four. Nah. So now he's saying that hey, movies like Logan, movies like The Joker, movies like Dark Knight, Captain America: Civil War, the Infinity Saga, just as a whole, like they can be done with the right director, right amount of money, and the right story. So people are not getting typecast as much as they used to be. Like I know Christopher Reeves, he had a hard time taking any of the roles because everybody saw him as Superman, even though he was a great actor. Um, a lot of people was like, once you put on a cape for any superhero, it's all people want to see you as. And now you take somebody like Michael Keaton, man, he's embracing it. He's coming back in the Flashpoint movie.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it was another movie he did. It was basically like a guy who played a superhero, and he come back, and I cannot think of the name of it. So it's
Birdman.
Birdman. There you go. Yes. So I mean, he's embracing it. And then he was also in the Vulture. So he's like, you know what?
Mm-hmm.
Roll's a roll, and I like the attitude. Like you're an
He
actor.
loves his wings.
Yeah, you're an actor. Just you know, prove everybody wrong. Be that guy that's going to break the mold. I mean, like The Rock's doing that every day. Every time he acts in everything. I don't think he's ever turned down a role, honestly, and because that guy works nonstop. Non,
No, Samuel L. Jackson has never turned on a role.
and just the thing that he didn't really get started until his
Samuel Jackson got B movies, C movies.
everything commercials. I mean, he was Jamal's dad on Ghost Rider, PBS.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, so he's
Oh,
been
I
around.
remember that.
Yeah, I didn't know who he was at the time, and then like I went back a few years later. I think I was just like reminiscing. It's like the early days of YouTube, and I looked up Ghost Rider episodes, and somebody had like you couldn't post nothing longer than 10 minutes, so it was like part one of three, and I said, hey, that's Samuel Jackson. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
hey man, that just hustle, man. The guy, he got a late start in acting. I mean, there's no wrong way to pursue a dream. And, just because somebody else hasn't done it, don't mean you can't do it. I mean,
That's right.
you got guys.
That's right.
Hey, J. Cole, dude's 36. So you know what? I want to play pro basketball. He went overseas and played. I mean, you can't take that away from him. I mean, just imagine if he.
Oh,
Imagine if everybody had that drive about anything that they wanted to do. I mean, don't let the precedent stop you. If you believe in yourself, hey, you can do it.
that's true.
Yeah,
And everybody's circumstance is different, but that is definitely true.
very. Hey, that. Oh yeah, that's a caveat on that. You got to have the right circumstances too. I mean,
Yeah.
the universe got to be in your favor, but you know, if
You
there's
still don't give up. You still don't give up.
you got to take those shots, even if you miss them. You got to take those shots. You know, and just plan, plan, and plan to succeed, and have just a little left to regain yourself. If it doesn't work out the first time, figure out how you can regroup or refocus. But yeah, like you said, man, everybody's circumstances are different, but it is possible. All right, man.
So did you like this? Which episode did you like more? Which episode did you like more?
Episode 2, for a lot of reasons. The first one, I didn't. I didn't have like a wow, this is gonna be. I can't wait for the next episode. I was a little underwhelmed at first, and then after watching the second episode and then going back, I was like, all right, I'm digging the series more because, I mean, to be honest, I like Captain America, First Avenger, but it's not my favorite MCU movie. So for them revisiting that world, it I was just along for the ride, but I wasn't really
I
excited
got you.
about the trip. But the Guardians of the Galaxy, Black Panther, that's when Marvel was hitting their stride where they could have put out a Man Thing, they could have put out a Kamala Khan, they could have put out any character, and somebody they would have made a success out of it because they were hitting their stride. They had the fans, and that was just like I would say the prime time to do anything new and radical, and that's what they did when they did the Guardians. Not too many people knew who the Guardians of the Galaxy were, unless you watch like some old cartoons, and even that current team was fairly new when the movie came out. I think they didn't hit out until 2006,
Mm-hmm.
and they basically changed Drax a lot. I mean, Drax was a human, and that was Arthur Douglas, and then there was another version of Drax that he was an android. So, and then this version, he was just Thanos killed his wife and daughter, and that was his thing for revenge. Gamora was slightly different, but she was still the most dangerous woman in the galaxy. Groot, I'll be honest with you, I didn't know anything about Groot until I saw the casting list and I started looking them up. Same with Rocket. And I was like, all right, they're doing Rocket, and me joking like, yeah, so they can do Rocket, they can do Howard the Duck, and they had Howard the Duck in there. Cosmo, he was in there, but he didn't talk. So he got to return.
He's a telepath, right?
Earth. The dog, that was with the spacesuit. He was like the dog that Russia sent to space.
Yeah.
So T'Challa got to bring him.
Yeah, it's Cosmo. Yeah, he's a telepath, right?
Yeah. So, but I think yeah, that was my favorite. That was my favorite out of 2, which now I'm more excited about the next one. And a lot of times you can't like hit full stride like WandaVision. It took me 3 episodes to really appreciate what the first 2 had. So I definitely get it. But now I'm all aboard. I can't wait what's next because Marvel. I'm used to the animation style now. A little bit. It's kind of like if you ever watch Archer. If you never seen anything like Archer, and you watch Archer, it's a little jarring. You're like, all right, it looks well done, but it's kind of hard to look at. And then after a few episodes, you're used to it. Like me watching South Park when I was younger, I was like, man,
That's true.
This is like cardboard, these cardboard cutouts. But then after you get your eyes and your mind and get adjusted to it, you kind of enjoy and appreciate things a little more. So, yeah, I really like this episode. Yeah, I'll probably watch it one more time before the episode 3.
It's actually good. I'm definitely gonna watch it again. I did like this one a little more, and like you said, only because of I like the Easter eggs. So some of the Easter eggs, that's what got me. I like all the little different Marvel nods they put in it. I guess because the world was bigger and we got to see a lot of different personalities. So, like you said, from this episode, it makes me want to see other episodes. It made me want to see another one. But they didn't have to do the whole RIP with the sad music at the end, like hit me in my stomach.
Yeah.
And make me like, God damn.
Had a little bubble, that little.
Yeah, like they could just put RIP. They didn't have to put the sad music.
Yeah, man. I am truly a talented dude, man. But once again, you get that role, and yeah, Marvel pulled the heartstrings again.
Mm-hmm.
And which I did thought it was a timely announcement that they had the Riri Williams character announcement going to be in the Wakanda Forever during after this episode launched, because it gets everybody thinking about that world of Wakanda again, and I'm definitely excited about that movie. And then they also announced that Anthony Mackie will be in has already signed a deal to do Captain America 4. I don't know where that goes into
Mm-hmm.
the timing, because I don't know if it's going to be after Ant-Man 3 or before Ant-Man 3. Cuz I think they're filming Ant-Man 3 now,
Hmm.
cuz I know Doctor Strange had wrapped, but they're doing some reshoots, and Loki was spotted on the set, and I think Ant-Man, because Ant-Man comes out next year, so they've got to be filming it, if not almost done with it, because the order is
It's coming soon.
in March is Doctor Strange. July is Ant-Man, I think.
Okay.
Man,
Quantum, yep.
yeah, Quantumania. I know I'm missing
Quantum
something.
Mania.
I know it's like Marvel's
Hmm.
they're trying to do 4 movies a year, which is very ambitious. Um,
Wakanda's coming out 2023,
yeah,
right?
Wakanda's in July, so maybe Ant-Man. Yeah, so May. It was March, May, July is Wakanda,
Okay.
and then what was the other one?
Maybe
Oh, the
maybe
Marvel.
Quantum Mania is the
Captain
last one.
Marvel. Captain
The
Marvels.
Marvels. The
Marvels.
Marvels, yeah.
Yeah, that's the other one. And then you got all their Disney Plus shows, the Iron Wars, Armor Wars. I'm sorry, uh, Hawkeye. I think it's going to be a 2021. I think it's going to bleed between both years. Loki
Mm-hmm.
season 2, What If season 2, which is going to be 9 episodes. And I'm not sure how many episodes Loki's going to be. I don't know if it's going to be 6 again, or they may go up, because COVID kind of adjusted their shooting schedules. And now that a lot of studios,
Again.
yeah, but not a lot of studios have asked the actors to get vaccinated or get tested daily, which I get the daily testing, just try to be as safe as possible. But yeah, somebody's gonna take a risk. It's just like anything. They say put me in, coach. Yeah, I don't feel good, but I want to go ahead and do it. And then you're making a sacrifice and a risk at the same time. So just be safe out there.
That's true.
And
That
then
is true.
then DC's got a lot coming out. They've got the Shazam 2, Black Adam, Flashpoint, um, and then they've got a couple of HBO Max movies. The Blue Beetle.
Mm-hmm.
There's an animated Batwoman they're doing on HBO Max with Stephanie Beatriz,
Okay.
the girl from Brooklyn Nine-Nine, the one to play Rosa. I don't know if you
Uh-huh.
she's doing the voice of Batwoman. Yeah, there's like a tons of projects. So yeah, we'll definitely have enough content for the next year. Definitely, with all the things coming out, I just hope they keep the momentum. And then you
Yeah, I
got
gotta get on Titans.
Titans. Has that started yet?
Season 3 just came out last week.
Okay, is it they drop it all at once, or it's like weekly?
I think. I'm not sure. I think it's all at once, though.
Okay, well, hey, I know what I'm gonna be doing after SummerSlam then. Oh, all right. Before we head out, what are your thoughts of SummerSlam? I'm gonna give you a couple matches. I just want to hear your thoughts, man. Roman, Cena. Who you got?
I got Roman winning, even though on our podcast VCW for Villains of Vinyl, which y'all can go check out on Spotify and Apple Music, Apple Podcasts.
Yeah,
Shameless plug. We just did our SummerSlam preview, and I had Roman, but they almost convinced me to pick Cena. But I'm going Roman because I feel like he's going to have that belt almost to WrestleMania.
He's got to. I mean, the reason I say I predict Roman winning is the same reason why I predict Lashley going to lose. The reason I think Lashley's going to lose, you could disagree with me. I think he's going to lose for the simple fact is I think Big E's cashing in on him, and that's going to set up the Lashley Big E feud because I can't see Big E holding that briefcase until the Royal Rumble, even Survivor Series. I think it's going to be either now, because if he hold it too long, Vince is going to get cold on him, and he's going to be like Baron Corbin. He's going to be like what's the dude? Damien Sandow, where they're going to cash in and lose.
Mm-hmm.
Like you got to go ahead and do
Otis.
it. Otis. Kennedy.
That was COVID.
Mm-hmm.
That was COVID though.
Yeah, Otis. I don't think they had a plan for him. I think they just did it for the shock factor. But
and then Kennedy had to mess up with Randy and just
everybody had some kind of run-in. I mean, he killed Kofi's push because he wanted to do a punt versus an RKO. You still won the match, but that was enough to convince him he's not ready. Even though Orton was the one pooping in people's bags and doing all this kind of stuff, but
mm-hmm.
It pays to be a son of a legend, I guess. But I think the reason I think Goldberg's going to win just because they don't want Lashley to lose. It's going to be some shenanigans, I believe, with his son, with Goldberg's son, and then Big E's going to turn in it. Lashley's going to kind of like The Miz and how The Miz did with Drew McIntyre. Bobby Lashley's going to basically destroy Goldberg after a match. Big E runs in, cashes it in, beats Goldberg. So that's how you get that face versus face. Goldberg goes away. He said, I won the title, whatever. Goldberg got a stack of cash. See him in Saudi Arabia when they call him back. Mm-hmm. And now Lashley's like, hey, I didn't really lose that belt. I need my rematch. Big E could be a champion for a month. He can hold it for a few months and have that, story. And plus, you got a draft coming up. That'd be a good time to do a shuffle. And if you want to, I wouldn't take Roman away from SmackDown. I would definitely leave him on SmackDown. So that'll bring the New Day back together instead of Big E being the guy with the belt. And then you got the King of the Ring coming up. Let Xavier expand a little bit. So I don't know. Those are the two matches I'm really excited about. And then I'm kind of intrigued by the Sheamus, Damian Priest, just because I like Damian Priest since, Ring of Honor and everything. That dude's he just looks like a star. Plus, you don't get too many like Puerto Rican guys in the WWE. I think the last one was Jesus? Maybe it was.
What's Karrion Kross? I think Karrion Kross might be Puerto Rican.
I thought it was Mexican. Maybe not.
Let me check real quick.
I know AJ Lee's Puerto Rican.
Her fine self.
She could, man. I would love to see her come back. I would love to see her come back and feud with the ladies now, because I think she can have some good matches. And she retired early, young, but AJ Lee's writing TV shows. She's one of the writers for the MODOK show. So Karrion Kross is.
I'm not. I was looking up this.
His name is. He was trained by Disco Inferno.
Right now. Was it really?
Yeah, Glenn Gilbert.
I don't know where I saw him on somewhere he was talking about his his heritage.
I know this. There was yeah. Here you go. Talks about his Puerto Rican roots. Right. Yep. So yeah, you're right, man. I know they had the whole thing he was this hitman and all this. I don't know what's character or what's true to life because they blur the line so much nowadays. But
yeah,
SummerSlam is coming. I'm not as excited about SummerSlam as I'm typically am, but I'm definitely ready to watch. Just they switched it on me. It's going to be a Saturday, and then the takeover is going to be on Sunday. So which could be possibly Adam Cole's last match.
That's weird.
Yeah. because they got the boxing and
What do you think? Do you think? I got you.
yeah. So
What do you think? Do you think Adam Cole's gone?
um, I wouldn't leave it about Adam Cole. I know he's dating Britt Baker, but if the rumors are true, CM Punk's going to AEW, Daniel Bryan's going, then where do you
That's a
fit?
lot of people.
Yeah, where do you fit in? Where you're already kind of established in WWE with that fan base, and if guys like Finn Balor can be in the main event, I'm pretty sure they can find a way for you. And I think him and AJ Styles could have great chemistry. Riddle. I mean, there's got tons of guys that he can wrestle with outside of the NXT system. I think he'll be fine. I just hope they
That's
don't.
true.
I just hope they don't stick him into a tag team like they did Bobby Roode, and let him be himself. Because
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like Vince is crazy. Like he don't want guys starting in their 30s. DDP started in his 30s. Batista started in his 30s. Everybody's got a different story, so and everybody can't look the same.
That's true.
People not watching wrestling because they're not 7'5" guys in the ring. People are not watching wrestling because there's too much TV, too much good TV, and everything's on demand now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not like
And if you're not giving us good content,
yeah, I'll turn it. Like I used to just be like suffer through Raw, and I'm like, why am I doing this to myself? If I'm not enjoying something, why am I doing it? If somebody gave me something to eat and I didn't like it, I would stop eating it. Why am I still eating this? Because it's wrestling. I mean, that's kind of why I stopped watching AAA for a while, because I would see some of the stuff they're doing. I'm like, I love Lucha Libre style wrestling, but some of this is too goofy for me. and I'll stop watching it and I'll come back and they're doing
mm-hmm.
stuff. Same with Impact. Same with Ring of Honor. Like, I mean, and there's so much. It's too much. I love wrestling. Favorite thing, favorite sport. Too much. It's too much. Everybody's got two shows. These shows are 2-3 hours, several times a week. That's a lot of time dedicated now. And then you got the W Network. If I know something's good, I'll go back and watch an Eddie Guerrero versus Kurt Angle WrestleMania 1,000 times before I watch, the same match over and over on Raw.
Last week's Raw.
Last week's Raw.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I'm glad they got the brand split, because SmackDown used to be the Raw recap. Basically, whatever happened on Raw, they'll tell you about it on SmackDown, and then they'll have the same matches. And then nothing matters until the show before pay-per-view. Now with the brand split, SmackDown is the better show. Every time they do a brand split, it is always a better show. It doesn't matter who's running it, who's writing it. It's just better because Vince meddles with Raw more. And you would think he would see that.
Mm-hmm.
And now he's meddling with NXT. So.
No, he says he's still getting money. That's his main goal.
I believe he's preparing to sell it. I think he's going to end up selling WWE to NBC, Comcast. I think that's why he's letting all these people go. I believe that's why he's wanting to have this thing. Like, he's having record profits, and he's letting people go. Top stars. And then, like, he's like,
yeah.
And then it was like, are you afraid that you can that you're sending too many guys to AEW? And on his call, he's like, no, I think I can send them some more. Like, no biggie. I can just make new stars.
Wow.
He's just cold-hearted, man. I mean, he's old, man. I mean,
yeah, he is. Yeah.
So I don't know.
And he won't mess around. AEW gonna really build something good.
They're doing it. Like, at first, I was all excited AEW. Then they kind of be like, all right, man, I got super kick fatigue, hot spot fatigue, and now they're starting to. It's kind of like they're starting to mix guys with different styles, different backgrounds, so it's a little easier to watch. I'm not always getting this 20 200-mile-per-hour match. Guys just running around the ring, flipping, not selling anything, and they're not getting a match with two big guys just slamming
Yeah.
each other. It's a mix of styles, and that's what people love to see on the indies. That's what people love to see on TV. They like to see a clash. Bringing everything full circle about it. What if this guy fought this guy? What if this person had this? Instead of, hey, I know we just had a rematch of, Sheamus and Humberto Carrero 3 weeks in a row, but let's do it one more time without the belt on the line. But if he wins, he'll get the title shot. You're already telling everybody that he's going to win, so he can.
So that'll be the 5th time.
Yeah, it's like, why? And now you got all these guys who've never fought each other before. They're having these matches. They're building chemistry. I believe that's why Christian left, because he's like, I haven't worked with half these guys here. That was an impact, and that was some of my best years in my wrestling career, even though a lot of people didn't get to watch it. And I think with the addition of CM Punk, who's got a great mind for the business, now you let Bray Wyatt go. I was a big Braun Strowman fan, mainly because he was from North Carolina. But I mean, for a guy who was brought straight to TV, I mean, he picked up wrestling pretty quick, and he just got better and better every week.
He did,
and that's how you learn. I mean, that's what they're doing. Dominique, he's learning on the road. He's getting better and better every week because you're putting with veterans who know how to make the same match a different match versus, all right, here's your script. I need you to do this, and you got 5 minutes. No one can survive and build a character with that same limitation week in and week out. You can get by every once in a while, but you need for these people to develop a character inside the ring with their actual wrestling, and then allow them to get on the microphone. Allow them to create a character that where people want to buy merchandise versus just throwing them out there and then like, oh, it's not working. New gimmick. You're Fandango now. You're a ballroom dancer. And then when you kill it, the fan gets so he don't like it. He's like, oh, I didn't make that. The fans made that. That's why Zack Ryder didn't get over. That's why Heath Slater didn't get over, because Vince. He didn't like.
That's why God's favorite champion.
Yeah.
How do you kill Rusev Day? How do you kill how over that was, man? How do you kill it?
Because he didn't make it. The wrestlers come up with it, and the fans loved it. That was awesome. And then Aiden English was a perfect manager. How you fire Guerrero, man? He's married to Eddie Guerrero's daughter, man. That's like wrestling royalty. Well, he fired Charlotte's fiance, so. And if Charlotte doesn't win the title, I guarantee she'll probably be asking for her release because she's not undefeated. She's not been booked right.
You think she's going to AEW sometime?
I think it'll be a mistake if she does. She's gonna get her feelings hurt. Charlotte's an awesome wrestler. Charlotte's probably talented enough to wrestle the guys on the roster and hold her on. But I think everybody's not gonna book her the same. It's like Tessa Blanchard. Impact booked her as a credible champion, and then she no-shows them. They give you a title that no one else has in your gender, and you basically turn your back on them. Like, yeah, I'm not going to do this booking. I don't get it. Yeah, so. All right, man, I can rant about wrestling all day.
I'm not touching it. I ain't touching it. I ain't touching it.
Look, I like Tessa, man, but I've when you're asked to be a champion.
Do a job.
Yeah, when you do the job, you're the champion. Not only you representing your own self, you're representing the company. They're putting that pressure on your back to carry whatever the company has. If you don't want to be champion, you say, hey, this is too much for me. You do the job, you drop the belt, you move on. You get your break, whatever you need to do to get yourself right mentally. But while you're a champion, you need to do everything that's required to be a champion. That's the problem. Everybody wants to be a champion until they realize the championship duties. You have to promote those shows. You're going to have to do all the groundwork. You're going to have to do, be on these radio interviews, whatever it takes to bring butts into the seats. And it was a risk they took, and it failed because the person it's like when Vince said when they hired Zach Gowen, they hired the wrong one-legged guy. It wasn't the fact that he wasn't a great wrestler or whatever. It was just that once he got into that system, he didn't want to play within the rules that was given to him. Yeah, all of them can't be home runs, but I don't know. If I was in that situation, they say, "Hey, I want you to be our champion. I want you to represent our company." I'm going to make sure that I do everything in the world to make sure that not only I make success, but the company's success while I'm a champion. So, and if I'm not, take the belt off of me, but at least you tried. But I'm not going to just bail out on the company. But, yeah. All right, man. Like I said, I could talk about wrestling and ranting.
But we would have been mad if Bray Wyatt bailed out on the company.
If he was a champion, I would have. If he was a champion,
okay.
But he would need to drop the belt, though.
Okay.
No.
Because, Bray, man, he got done dirty.
I know.
I don't want to talk about it.
I know. Vince. Vince again. That's why he needs, a different writing room. People who's not afraid to knock on the door and say, "Hey, man, that's a dumb idea. Hey, if it's working," Vince doesn't care how much money a person brings in. If it didn't come out of his brain, he's not going to like it. That's what is shocking me why he likes Goldberg. Honestly, I cannot believe why he likes Goldberg.
He likes the pops that he gets, the ratings, like you said, YouTube views.
Yeah,
that's what he likes.
Yeah, but that was a Bischoff creation.
Hey.
It's like Sting. When Sting came, they did everything in the world to basically tarnish his legacy. Booker T, they tried, but Booker T was a fighter. He said, look, and he stuck around, and now it's like they had to break him down to remake him into WWE's image. Everybody doesn't get the opportunity. You got guys that had all the potential in the world, and just wrong circumstances, wrong gimmick, wrong creative, whatever it may be. Or you just come along at the wrong time, and this guy's gonna have this lengthy reign. Like, I still believe Carlito and Masters could still be on TV right now because those guys are awesome in the ring. And Chris Masters is probably one.
Well, that's how we saw Carlito was swole.
Yeah, he put in the work. So
he was jacked last time I saw him.
Mm-hmm. And man, I love it though. I'll complain about it, but I'll be watching next week. Just like wrestling's a drug, man. You can't quit it altogether.
Well, my homie said if Goldberg wins his title match, they're done.
Yeah,
and they're done. And every time they've said that he's lost, I'm like, oh, they don't really. This is gonna be the one where he actually wins, and they're gonna like, you know what?
But Big E's gonna.
Our podcast is over.
He's gonna be fine. I could be wrong.
I don't know. One of them said, even if that happens, they're still done. Even if they're like good for Big E, but they're done.
Oh man,
that's like okay.
Now I can see the other scenario where Lashley just straight destroys him, kind of like how Goldberg did Lesnar at Survivor Series, where you think this WrestleMania rematch and trying to redeem themselves, and Goldberg just spears him and takes him out. Maybe Lashley does that, but the fact that his son's involved,
Lashley beat his ass.
The fact that his son's involved, I think there's gonna be shenanigans, and yeah. But who knows? We'll be able to.
Man, I hope. Oh, Goldberg. And I grew up a Goldberg fan, but I don't think Goldberg needs his belt, man. He needs to stop fighting for the belt.
Yeah, he's like a character that doesn't miss. He's a character that doesn't need the belt. Piper was a character that didn't need the belt. And we've seen Goldberg as champion, WWE champion, Universal champion, WCW champion. We get it. For all it's worth, man, you're a wrestling legend. Like, people know your name. People who don't follow wrestling know who Goldberg is. Cool. Now it's time to
That's true.
Now it's time to give back, which is kind of weird when you say Bobby Lashley is what 44, but Bobby Lashley's on the road.
Yeah.
He's on the road. He's on TV every week. He's putting his body out there week in and week out.
Yeah, he went through it.
Yeah, so when somebody actually beats
He's been through it. Like, he's supposed to have been had it.
Yeah, he should have been champion before he left for TNA. But he has some issues going on too.
Well, even then, even when he came back, they built him up slow.
Mm-hmm. Had him feuding with Finn Balor. Had him with I can't think of the guy's name now. Leo Rush. I like Leo Rush.
Yeah, I like that pairing.
Yeah, I liked it. The almighty Bobby Lashley. Like, he was the perfect manager. And, you know, you need a manager that can get in there and ruffle some feathers and get under their skin. But then also... Lashley! I know he's retired.
It worked.
I know he's retired from wrestling as a wrestler, but I wonder if they will let him come back as a manager. Or would he be willing to come back as a manager? And he can be like...
He seems like a man that got a lot of pride.
Yeah. But he was awesome in the ring, though. That was one guy, man, I wish I could have worked with. But I probably couldn't keep up with him because he is... that dude's awesome. But, all right, man.
That boy fast, from what I've seen. From what I've seen, he is, like, fast.
Yeah, him and Ricochet could probably... Or Will Ospreay, they would probably have some good stuff, though.
And then they let go of my boy Leo Ruff. The fake Leo Rush.
Yeah.
Leon Ruff. Hurt my feelings, man.
Man, I love when he had the North American title on and it just drops down because he's so small.
Drop. I love him having the belt, man. They gave him the belt and then he released him.
I know. They could have put him with, they could have put him with somebody and let him be like the manager or something, or he could be like Archie.
I like when somebody said we could have. Or they could have put him in Hit Row and he been the goofy member in Hit Row that don't. It's not any good. Like, he'll have him bust a rhyme really corny or he just.
Oh man, I like that stable. I like that stable though. I like it.
I like Hit Row too.
Mm-hmm.
Shorty came out with a baseball bat when they got jumped.
I wonder how long they're gonna keep them together because they don't like stables. They don't like tag teams. It's like a tag team is a placeholder until we decide which one's going to be the single star.
Mm-hmm. Good old Vince.
Yeah. Because it was like, first it was like, say, take Eminem. There's like, all right, Morrison's a star. Then you put Miz and Morrison. No, maybe Miz is a star. And so everybody else like, who's the Jannetty? Who's the Michaels? And it wasn't that Michaels was better than Jannetty. Problem was Jannetty couldn't stay out of Jannetty's way, and he was.
That's true too.
Yeah, I mean he was always getting trouble. He couldn't, he had substance abuse problems. I mean, he had issues. It's the '90s. Everybody was doing weird stuff. So I think that's always an unfair comparison that he gets when you talk about the tag team, who was the better one, because Jannetty could go. We saw that when they brought him back to wrestle Kurt Angle. I mean, when he's on. But all right, man. Hey, good show though. Until next time. Hey, we got a what if coming up. We can recap SummerSlam. You already plugged your podcast. You want to do it one more time? Any of your social media and stuff?
Villains and Vinyl, Villains letter and Vinyl, all one word, on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. I'm on most Twitter, Instagram, John_T_Helios. And if you're reading comic books, y'all need to check out Batman 89, which is a pretty dope read. It's based off basically Batman, the Tim Burton's 1989 Batman, and the story after that features basically Billy D's Harvey Dent.
Oh yeah,
and you go into more of that story. Also, Moon Knight #1 is pretty interesting right now. So I would check that out. If I think, I finally caught up and read the Last Ronin 3, so I can get ready for the last issue 4. That's one of my favorite series going right now.
All
Last
right.
Ronin is pretty good.
I did watch Attack of the Block. Man, I wish I would have
What
known.
you think?
I liked it. Like me and my wife were watching it. I was scrolling through Hulu and I said, "Oh, Attack of the Block." I told him I was going to watch this, so we put it on. Yeah, I didn't know what to expect, and I was surprised, man. And you see those guys when they were so young, man.
Mm-hmm.
It was a good premise. I liked it. I liked it. All right, my
Yeah,
plug.
it was better than I thought it was going to be because I was not expecting it to be that good.
And I don't know. I like seeing foreign movies. You know, whether it's Bollywood or Nollywood and Nigerians, or in the UK. I like hearing English movies, but they're not speaking like people from the United States. Their accents. So I do enjoy that. Those type of movies. Um, Everywhere you can find me at Peanut Hill, PNUT Hill on Twitter, Mr. Hill NC on Instagram, Earth to Review, my other YouTube channel, and we review everything from movies to Funko Pops, whatever. I do a lot of videos with my niece. She enjoys it. And it actually has got her interested into reading things a little more advanced in her reading level. So, anything y'all can do to help encourage her or give me some ideas, hey, keep her mind busy while she's young. So, hey, what everybody tells you, the kids are the future. So if we can get her interested, she loves comics. So her favorite X-Men character is Storm, and so. And
Okay.
her favorite X-Men, hey, there you go. I'm excited. So, hey, until next
There
time,
you
man.
go.
Yeah. All right, man. Hey, I'll catch you next time, man. Hey, be easy. Take care.
I'll be here, man. We ready.
All right, man.
PCP.
Yes, sir. Time to watch some preseason football. All right, now.
All right, now.